Hey there everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi, hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Thanks so much for checking out this video. So yeah, we're here, just gonna do a little vlog. We're at the reservoir here in Arvada, and we're just gonna get a couple miles in. This is the long 7-mile loop. Also the short loop attached to it, so we're probably gonna do the shorter loop just because we're getting a little late in the afternoon. It's after work. We're coming up on 5 o'clock. So I don't think we'll have enough daylight to do the full 7 miles. And also I haven't been feeling super duper hot the past couple of days. I'm not sure if I have a stomach bug or it's something I ate or just something else, just blanket statement, something else in general. Can't quite put my finger on it, but I've just been having some stomach stuff pop up, but it's also been tied to a little bit of a headache and general achiness and feeling clammy and hot and sweaty and then really cold and kind of going back and forth. And I thought I had a fever, but I don't think I do anymore. So I'm feeling okay, but not at the top of my game by any means. Energy has been kind of low, so we're gonna keep it brief, but can't keep this boy locked up all day, so we had to do something. Oh, it is muddy on this path. Holy mud. Let me get over in the snow. So yeah, and as you can see, we got some snow here in Colorado over this past weekend. It's been a couple weeks since I've put any sort of vlog or anything up, maybe even longer than that. And it's not for a lack of trying, and that's the other thing that I wanted to mention. So I have my camera filming and recording audio, and then I have the separate microphone recording audio independently, but I do not have the receiver hooked up, so the microphone's not talking directly to the camera right now. I think I have some issues with the receiver for this whole setup, I think is what's causing the problem. So I tried recording, because it's hit and miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I had tried recording, I think, 4 different vlogs over the course of the past couple of weeks, and every single one, the audio was a mess on. And so I think I've narrowed it down to the receiver being broken. I think that's what's going on. So I'm going to try this route. It is a little windy, so hopefully the wind noise I can clean up either using the audio that the mic is recording independently. I think is going to be better quality than just what the camera records. But I'm going to just try to stitch it together and do my best. Like, one of these 2 avenues should give me some clean audio. So, but yeah, I filmed I forget when it was, but I filmed a very long vlog, I want to say about a week ago, and I filmed probably like a 2-hour vlog, just catching everybody up on everything, and then got home and like the first 30 seconds was fine, and then it was like wee the entire time, and I couldn't figure out how to clean it up. I think if I had been smart enough, I think the mics, like I said, they record the audio independently. So if you ever, I guess, run into an issue, you can pull it from there. But I guess I didn't put 2 and 2 together. So I just kept deleting everything out of frustration, attempt to go edit. And then I came to the realization over the past couple days, I'm like, there was probably clean audio sitting on the storage on those mics that whole time. All I had to do is just stitch it to the video clip and override that audio that was recorded on that, and it probably would have been fine. So I've been spending the past couple weeks in frustration, probably for no reason, and I think that's probably going to be my way around not having to use the receiver. It's just kind of a bummer because that whole setup, you know, I bought the 2 microphones and the receiver as a set, and so I'm like, ugh. So, and I'm past the warranty stage, you know, of course, by like a couple months. So, frustrating, but I think we've got it worked out, and I hope this audio sounds good, but hopefully it'll encourage me to get back into it, because over the past weekend, I didn't film anything because I was just like, ugh, I'm just frustrated that my equipment is not working, so I'm just not going to film anything. And I'm like, yeah, you probably should still film stuff. So that's what we're doing today, and I think we can make it work. Maybe we'll go down this little cement paved area because it is super muddy and icky. But it's very pretty today. Nice little sunset coming down the mountains and over the water and the snow. It's very nice, very peaceful out here. But we're gonna churn a little bit away from that. I've never been down this path, but I want to get out of the mud and the muck. So yeah, I hope you're doing well. Don't forget to leave in the comments how things are going for you. But yeah, we are in week 2. Today is Monday at the time of filming this. So we're officially starting week 2 of the new place. And so I'm all moved. I do have some stuff in the old place still in the garage. My old friend / landlord, Spencer, his girlfriend moved in before I moved out, and she kind of moved all of her stuff into the garage and kind of blocked everything. So I didn't have access to the stuff that I had put in the garage. So Spencer was about to go on vacation, and he's like, oh yeah, I thought I was going to have time to clear a path for you, but I'm not going to have time. So it's totally fine that it's there. We'll figure out another date when I clear out a path, and then you can come move the rest of your stuff. And a lot of it's going to get donated or trashed anyway. It's nothing I need like today. So I was like, yeah, that's no problem. So I hadn't heard from him at all. No texts, no calls, nothing saying, hey, I'm back from vacation, I cleared a spot, or anything like that. And then we went out to dinner on Saturday, and he showed up just kind of randomly. Didn't know he was going to be there. And he's like, oh, when are you going to get your stuff out? And I'm like, whenever you clear a path. He's like, oh, I think I cleared a decent enough path, which means he didn't. I'm going to have to probably just do it myself. And I was like, okay, like, are you saying you want me to like go do that right now? Like, he just had this attitude of like, why haven't you done it yet? And I'm like, hey, mister, like, you're the one that made me wait. And so now that you're ready, it's like, I got to be on the ball. So it's just like, you know what? I'll go get it, you know, in due time. Like he didn't, I don't know how long it's been since he cleared it out or anything like that. No communication whatsoever. So I'm just, you know, if you are really that desperate for me to move my like 6 or 7 containers all the way in the back of the garage, then you should text me or call me and say, hey, I got this stuff done. Like, don't make it awkward. So I do need to do that at some point this week, but that's everything. And then I'll be 100% moved out of there, which I am ready for. Like, I don't like leaving loose ends and stuff. Like it just leaves a little bit of stress hanging over my head when I don't have stuff like done. So I will get that done soon enough. But other than that, all moved in, still kind of unpacking little by little. I'm really coming to realize how much of the stuff I have accumulated I don't actually use that often because I'm not fully unpacked. And yet I don't feel like I'm in a need for anything. I'm not like, where's my blah, blah, blah. Like I have a lot of stuff that I don't need. So I think I'm going to probably do a little bit more. Oh, this is a cool little sledding hill. Look at that. See some sled tracks. I think I'm going to do a little bit more consolidating and getting rid of some stuff that I just don't need. And one of the things that I'm trying to figure out what to do with is some of my finished diamond paintings, because I will be hanging a number of them in the house. There's a lot of space to hang stuff, and I got the okay from my new roommates to start hanging some diamond paintings. So I do have plans for a good portion of them, but there's some that are in my stash that I've had rolled up for a long time and just don't have a place for them. So I think I might be getting rid of some finished diamond paintings. I had grand ideas at one to like try selling them or this and that, but just I'm not going to start an Etsy shop. You know, I don't have the time for that, or necessarily the desire to do that, and hanging on to them and then waiting for friends. Like, I keep waiting for a friend to be like, ooh, I want that one, or ooh, I want that one. But it's like, how frequently is that actually going to happen? And so I think what I'm probably going to do is just toss a couple of them or a few of them. I mean, I do it for the relaxation and the process of it all, but there's a couple of them that I just don't think I'll hang. Like, my Galaxy kit from Diamond Painting Deutschland has been rolled up for a year now. Nothing done with it. There's just a couple others that I'm just like, eh. Like, I like it. I really like it. It's beautiful, but I don't know where it's going to go, and I don't want to hang on to them forever. So I will probably be getting rid of just a couple. And then, yeah, I do need to reach out to my friend group some more and be like, hey, does anyone want one of these finished diamond paintings to hang or something? Because there's some really good ones in there. Like the one that I'm really torn on, or a couple that I'm torn on, I have Masks by W.T. Benda and Distracted by Diamonds. I love that kit, but I just don't know where I'm going to put it. So that one's kind of on a potential giveaway or do something with list. And then my Micah Jelena kit, Astrid, don't really have a place for that one anymore right now. What other ones? There's a couple others. Oh, there's one that's the only reason I want to hang on to it is because it's a discontinued kit from an art club. It's just like I want to say 60 by 60 square image. If I can remember to insert a picture of it, I will. I might forget, but I think it's called Beautifully Broken, I think. Yeah, that's it. Beautifully Broken. That one I had in the bathroom of our old place, but now I don't really have a spot for it, and I don't know where else to hang it, so that one's on the list too. And I'm like, I don't want to get rid of something that's not going to be produced anymore, but then I'm just like, but why? If it's just going to sit under a bed or something, like, I don't know. I'm kind of in this middle ground of like, I want to hang everything that I finish, but that's not practical because I do too many. You know, if I was just doing like one a year, then maybe, or two a year, but it's like, okay, I've got to find spots for 18 diamond paintings in the house. It's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So I've got to figure stuff out. I guess we'll talk about it when we talk about purchases, but anyway, so I have that going on. Work's going good. Because I was feeling really crummy, I worked from home today instead of going into the office, because part of this has been making a sprint to the bathroom without getting too TMI. Apollo, pick a side, dude. He's over here behind me, and I keep like having to spin around. But yeah, so I was like, yeah, and I don't want to risk potentially getting folks sick, you know? So my boss was like, yeah, definitely work from home if you're not feeling well. And I was like, yeah, I'm just kind of, like, I can't pinpoint what it is, but something's not right. So it's nice having that flexibility. But yeah, so work's going fine. I was able to pretty much get caught up from having a few days off, not last week, but the week before, from moving. Oh, I didn't realize this just comes back up to the road. That's kind of a bummer. I thought it was gonna like take us around this whole park. Let's go back this way and see if we can find another path. So yeah, just kind of I got caught up from work, and we had our performance reviews last week, and mine went really well, so that was good. I wasn't necessarily nervous, but there's always just a little bit of nerves, I guess, when it comes performance review time, like, uh-oh, what did I do that I don't know that I did? And that's one thing that I did mention to my supervisor is like, my goals this year for 2024 is to make sure that I'm providing like the best service possible for the managers that I hire for. And part of that is getting consistent feedback. And we have inner office like surveys that hiring managers can complete after we're done working with them, basically saying, how's your experience working with Anthony? Fulfill all your needs, get stuff done in a timely manner, blah, 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 blah. So they complete those surveys after every recruitment. And I individually hired like 127 people last year, or maybe something around there, 120 to 150 people. And, so you'd think that I'd be getting a ton more, feedback and notes, but those aren't sent directly to us. Those are sent to our manager. And so I really only hear if someone had an issue or had a comment of something that I could potentially work on. And even then, not all the time. Like a lot of the times I'm assuming my supervisor is like, okay, well, this is just kind of general feedback, and I don't hear about it. So I asked her, like, even if it might not be or you might not feel that it's of value for me to hear it, I don't know. I was just basically, my comment was I'd love to see more of those feedback results. And I guess maybe not every hiring manager completes that survey, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I've just felt like I hadn't, even though everything went well, like I'd love to hear more so I can make little tweaks and adjustments. And maybe there's some nuance with when working with a particular manager that I need to be aware of that might be different from another manager. Just little, like anything I can do to help kind of customize my approach would be helpful. And sometimes I feel like I'm just kind of rolling with it as it comes in. And afterwards it's like, all right, next, moving on, like no real feedback between hiring. So yeah, so that was about it. But other than that, work's going super well, and we're getting settled into the new place. Apollo, the first couple of days was a little on edge, like just panting, kind of heavy breathing the whole time we were there. Like he didn't really know what was going on because I was moving a bunch of stuff in, and then I left him there to go get another load of stuff, and I could tell he was just like, what is happening right now? So he just seemed a little tense, a little anxious and on edge. Even like when it was time to go to bed, he was like sitting in the bed, just looking around and panting, like, is this it? This is where we're going to bed now? Or is this a hotel? Like, is this temporary? So it took him a couple days to kind of figure out, oh, like this is my new home. I live here now. And so now he's totally fine, and the new roommates are really getting along with him. My two new roommates are Joe, who I've mentioned a number of times before, close friend, and I think you may have even seen a picture of him. We went on a hike at one point, and he found a bunch of raspberry bushes and wanted me to take a picture of all the raspberries that he harvested. And I think I included a picture of him in a vlog when I talked about that, but I don't remember. Come on, let's go. So you may have seen him, may have not, but I'm sure you'll see him at some point in the future. So we've got Joe, and then I've got Doug, my other roommate, and I just know him from the house. Like when he moved in is when I got to know him. So I didn't know him previously, but he's been around the friend group for a year or so. And so he's super nice, and he loves dogs and loves Apollo. So it's been so nice, like I'll take him for a walk and I'm tired or whatever, and he'll come in and just bombard Apollo, and they play hard. So I'm like, good, you're getting some more energy out of him. So that's been really helpful. He just loves playing and wrestling with Apollo, and Apollo's like, yes, I wish my dad did this more. Because we'll play fetch and stuff and chase in the house, but they go at it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So they have a good time. And it's a 3-level house, so Apollo is like bounding up the stairs, up and down, and running circles, because it's like, you got the main entry hallway, and then right there is the living room. The hallway continues into the kitchen, but you can go through the dining room into the kitchen as well. So it's like a big circle. So they'll just chase each other in circles, and it's good. It's really good. And Joe is not as much of a dog lover because he's had some bad interactions with dogs in his past. So he's a little bit more wary, but Apollo's melting his cold heart. I busted them cuddling the other night. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, what? He's really soft. I'm like, I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised. And Apollo's just like lounging on the couch, and I'm like, you two are fast friends. So it's going really good. And Joe's girlfriend, she loves Apollo. She's always loved him. So that's a nice little buffer too. But yeah, it's going good. So I guess we're just gonna have to go around the lake here because this path isn't giving us any other options. I thought it would go through the housing development and come back around, but apparently not. Apparently not. Come on. Good boy. No horses beyond this point. You're almost a horse. You're more of a wolf. Yeah, you're more of a wolf. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Already? This early? Woo! Okay. Come here. Whoop. Nice. Come on, little snow bunny. He's like, let me off leash. We did go up to the off-leash dog park. Was that on Saturday too? Yeah, on Saturday, this past Saturday. And I let him off. There weren't any dogs around. And then out of the blue, this guy comes around the corner. Skylar was his name. And he comes out of the corner with his little like healer mixed with a Chihuahua, something else, little dog. I was like, oh no. And Apollo was off leash, and so was his dog. And so they ran up to each other. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want him getting sick, but I haven't heard any news, like a ton of new cases and stuff. Like it seems like that kind of news about that dog illness has kind of quieted down. If you know more, let me know. But I think it's just kind of like still around, but not like cases aren't exploding. Oh my gosh, this mud is like, I feel like I'm skating. Holy moly. Don't pull me too hard. I gotta get to some more snow. Ugh. I'm like literally just sliding through it. So I was like, I don't want to risk my dog getting sick, but they're already, sniffing each other and stuff, and I wasn't close enough to like yank him away. And of course, when he meets a new friend, he's like, let's play. And so at first the guy was like, oh, she can be she's pretty picky with friends, like she might get aggressive. And I was like, okay, well, I'll grab him. And then they just immediately ran off and were like playing and pawing each other. They're super high energy dog for being so small. Well, I guess small dogs can have high energy, but you know what I mean. I just was worried because it was just this little dog, and Apollo's a big boy. But they were like playing and pawing each other, and like the perfect like dog play, not too aggressive, keeping each other's limits in mind, and just having a great time. So it was really windy. It was like the night that it started snowing that night, And so it's super windy. And he was like, oh, well, we just started. I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to get him back once he's in play mode unless he's played out, you know, like I'll go to like get him. And he's like, nope, if this dog's not on a leash, then I'm not on a leash. And so I ended up walking with him pretty much the entire lap, which is 3-point-something miles. And Apollo and this dog, I think her name was Lila, just were like the best of friends. There's a path down there. I guess we can keep going. No, never mind. Change path, it's just too muddy. My feet have like big old cinder blocks of mud on them. Let's go down here. Maybe it's less muddy. So they just had an absolute, hi cutie, hi, an absolute blast. They were just playing and romping in, because it had snowed the weekend before. The weekend I moved, it snowed, unfortunately. But they were just romping in the snow that was there and just loving it. And so we got to his churn off because he lives right by there. And he was like, I think I'm going to churn here. I was like, okay, I'll corral him. And him and Lila just both refused to come to either of us. They were just loving it, loving it. Come on, come on. And so he's like, okay, I'll walk with you to the next pull out, because there's like multiple entrances and exits. Okay, it's getting too deep. Bail, back to the path. Somebody else did the same thing. They were like, nope, too deep. So by the time we were talking and they were just running and playing until the next little exit, and by the time we got there, they were both pooped. Like, they were sprinting the entire walk. And so they were both pooped, and Apollo kind of came up next to us and was just looking at me like, okay, I'm done. And just let me gently clip him back up. And I was like, okay. So we're out here playing with dogs. All it takes is 3 miles of consistent sprinting, and then you're tuckered out. And he slept like a baby that night. But I ended up exchanging numbers because that guy, he lives right there. So he's like, we come out here every day. Like, as long as it's not bitter cold, I'm out here with her every day because she has so much energy. I was like, oh, nice. Well, we're out here 2-3 times a week, if not more. So I'll just text you. And if you're around, if you want to take Lila out, we'll be there. And he's like, okay, cool. So now he's got a little girlfriend or whatever, a little friend to walk with. We haven't gone there since then. I mean, that was just a few days ago. So we might go tomorrow. But yeah, he's got a little buddy. Hopefully she's safe to be around. He doesn't seem to be exhibiting any symptoms or issues. And the last time we went there, he ran over and was playing with a different dog. But that couple, they had their baby with them and in the stroller. And so they were like letting the dogs play, but you could tell they were like on a mission. Like, we're just out here to do the bare minimum, get our dog some exercise and get out, because it was also cold that day too. And so I had to corral Apollo because they were like leaving. Like, they weren't in the mood to be like, oh, we'll just kind of keep going until they play themselves out. They were like, we gotta go. So I had to corral Apollo, and that was one of the vlogs I tried recording that day. And by the time I got him corralled and that couple left, it was already getting dark, and I was a little stressed out just from feeling like I was chasing my dog around and making sure he didn't get into trouble. So I tried to start filming in the dark, and I was like, you know what? I'm not in the mood for this. So I just stopped filming and just did a normal walk. And then since then, every vlog I've tried to film has been kind of a bust as far as the audio. Like, I did that long vlog, I walked everyone around Golden. I did a little mini tour of the house and all this stuff. And then I got home and deleted everything because I thought it was unusable, but I think I could have salvaged it. Anyway, at another point I will do a house tour and walk you around town and all of that good stuff. We actually tried doing that twice, and both times the audio was messy, so try again at some point in the future. Probably at this week some point, maybe over the weekend or something. But yeah, just wasn't able to make it happen. But anyway, so yeah, what else is going on? I mean, that's really, my life has been working and unpacking and moving over the past couple of weeks and just trying to get settled. But yeah, the roommates like Apollo, they like me, which is good. And yeah, just kind of getting settled. I need to go do some official grocery shopping. The one thing that's gonna get me about living here is, or living at the new place, is there's a Natural grocery store directly across the street. I mean, directly as in I look out my window and I see the sign, like the neon sign, and it does kind of illuminate my room just a little bit at night. So I just have sheer curtains up. I need to get some heavier duty curtains. It doesn't necessarily bother me, but it is something I notice at night, like, oh, there's the glow of the Natural grocer sign. But it's been spoiling me, because anytime I need something or I'm hungry, rather than going and actually getting groceries, like for a week or whatever, I just walk over to Natural Grocers and get the thing I'm craving, and then that's it. So I feel like I'm living kind of meal to meal, and I've only cooked one meal there so far because everything else is just like, oh, I'll just get this little microwave tikka masala or something like that. I'm like, yeah, it's probably costing me a lot more to do it one meal at a time than it would be just to go get groceries and cook, you know? So I'm gonna probably do that. I was thinking I might also start up, speaking of which, I need to cancel this week. I still have HelloFresh set up, but I'm gonna cancel this week because edit delivery, skip this week. I'll be away, let's just say that. Okay. Because I need to get in the app and actually I need to update my address, and I don't know if that entails anything else. I just don't want it to ship to the old place. But I'm considering picking that back up and just using that to cook, because if I do the math of how much I've spent over the past 2 weeks at Natural Grocers, it far surpasses the $80 a week for 4 meals from HelloFresh, 4 dinners. And usually with those I get dinner and a lunch, so it's really 8 meals for me. So I think that'll probably be good for me right now until I can get more into a good groove. Come on, buddy. Get into a better groove, get a little bit more comfortable, and then I'll start, doing my own thing. But HelloFresh, it's always done me well. So, and I have a much larger kitchen to work in. It's like 3 times the size, so that's nice. It's a pretty big kitchen, so that'll be nice to start cooking in there. And yeah, just trying to get settled and get comfortable in the space. And yeah, it's working out pretty well. So I'm ready. I mean, I love the snow, and Golden is beautiful in the snow because it's kind of a little mountain town. So it just has this rock in shoe. I think I got it. Um, it's very quaint. It's a very quaint town. It's growing, so there's definitely people around, but it still has that small, kind of quiet town vibe. And it's in a valley. So we have what we're looking at right now is like the Flatirons kind of foothills. And then that is North Table Mountain right there that we're looking at, that little plateau. And then just beyond that is South Table. So Golden is tucked right in the valley between all three of those. And so even though it's just that little plateau and then it turns into plains, it feels like you're tucked in the mountains because you've got the foothills technically on either side. So they call it a mountain town, and it's kind of the last town before you legitimately start going up into the mountains. But it has that snowy kind of mountain town, ski town kind of vibe, which I love. And it's been so nice when we've been going on walks, because we go on a walk every morning and every night. And it's just, the neighborhood is a complete different vibe. Like, it's a different style of living, and it's much more my speed. And so it's just been so relaxing, and like being able to look out my windows in my room and just see mountains and snow, and it's just awesome. It's awesome. It's like I said, completely different style of living, even though we're only, 10 or so minutes away from my last place. It's like being in a different world. And I really, really like it. So I'm hoping this works out for a decent amount of time, long term. But yeah, this rock, I swear, I always run into rock-based issues sometimes on hikes. So yeah, that's kind of the updates there. Like I said, still need to figure out where I'm gonna hang my diamond paint. Well, not where, but how many I'm able to hang. So that needs to happen, and yeah, just kind of continuing to get settled a little bit more, I think, is the game plan for the coming few days. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. What else? I'm trying to think of like anything else I brought up on the last 4 times I've tried to film this that I'm missing. I'm sure I'm missing a lot, but it's hard to go back and be like, what did we talk about over the past couple weeks? So yeah, that's frustrating, but I need to start writing these, writing some general notes down or talking points. That way I at least know in case I have to re-record. But I never have to do that. I've never had to do that. So that's kind of something new, but yeah, I just need to keep a little bit of a log as to what's going on. But yeah. As far as diamond painting goes, I guess there's a decent amount of updates. That's probably where the majority of the updates are. But as far as what I have kitted up, not started, I have Inner Garden by Yume Art and Diamond Art Club. I have Stella by Iterations Crafts and Diamond Painting Shop. I have Harbor Lights by Diamond Painting Shop. I forget who the artist is for that one. And then I have, what else? How many was that? Harbor Lights, Stella, Inner Garden. Is that it? There's got to be another one. Oh, Muted Sound by Yume Art and Diamond Art Club, and I think that's it. Yeah, Inner Garden, Stella, Harbor Lights, Inner Garden. There's got to be another one. Let me check the phone. I feel like there's a 5th. Let's see. Gotta pull up my Google Drive. It's like, hey, you only look at this when you film. It's like, yeah, I do. Oh, Sunset Crossing. How could I forget? That's like my longest running kitted up project. Sunset Crossing by Craftably. I have that one kitted up, not started as well. So I have 5 that are pending starts. And then as far as what I have going, I have a Moose by Ernst Haeckel, sorry, in Jaded Gem Shop. No progress on that. I haven't touched that thing since Summer with the Masters last year, I think. I need to get back to it. I almost sat down with it yesterday. I almost sat down with it and I was like, nah, let's pick a different one. So that one's still at like 2%. I have very little done on that. And then I have Summer by Alphonse Mucha and Diamond Painting Shop. In the past couple of weeks, I have gotten, I think, another 2 rows done on that. So I'm about a quarter of the way done with that project. It is, and this will be a theme, it is very confetti heavy and way more confetti heavy than I thought. And I was like, hey, Katie did this for Summer with the Masters 2022. I don't think she mentioned like how intensely confettied this is. Hold on just a second. But yeah, I'm like, I don't think she mentioned how confetti heavy this kit is. And I don't remember Winter from Alphonse Mucha and Diamond Painting Shop, which I completed last year. I don't remember that one being as confetti heavy. And then I went back and listened to Katie's finish and review of it, and she's like, this thing is top to bottom confetti. Like, warning, this is a very confetti heavy kit. And I'm like, oh, she did warn me, but I did it anyway. And not that I have confetti, I just was surprised by it. And then I went and looked back at Winter that I completed, and it's less confetti for sure. There's more color blocking in that kit, but I think it's because there's just less colors in Winter than in Summer. But yeah, oh my gosh, that kit is kicking my butt. Every time I work on it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've been looking at this same section all day. But it looks really good. So it's totally worth it. The only thing that I'm noticing, and it's just a personal thing with that kit, is the AB that was selected. One of them is a red AB, and it's beautiful. And Diamond Painting Shop's ABs are my favorite ABs because the AB coating is like pretty intense. So you get like a really intensity AB kind of iridescent shimmer off of them. But for whatever reason, it's the red AB that has been used in the flowers in that kit. It's almost, don't get me wrong, it's fine, but in my opinion, it's almost a little too intensely AB'd. And I hate saying that because I love that look most of the time. And I do like it in this kit. I don't dislike it. It's just, for some reason, it almost draws my eyes to them a little too much. Now, when I finish the kit and see it all done, you know, as one complete piece, I'm sure it's going to come together and my opinion will change. But since all I'm seeing right now is some grass and flowers, the red AB flowers really stand out. So I'm like, oh, this is bright, you know? But once again, I think as I continue working on it, it'll be less imposing. But yeah, so working on that, slow but steady progress on that. And then I have Astronomer by Miles Pinkney in Diamond Art Club, and I'm doing that for the Astronomer Paint Along 2024 that Mia is hosting, and I'd say I'm about 45% done on that, maybe a little bit more. I'm halfway down a column on that, and once I finish that column, I'll be 50%. So something in the 40 range. And that's looking really good. I'm falling in love with it the more and more I work on it. It's, once again, high confetti, high detail, but there's a lot of little details. So it's kind of one of those pieces that you reveal a section and you're like, oh, I get to do part of the galaxy, or I get to do this gear, or these stars. So there's always something kind of fun to work on with that kit, and there's almost always in every section either an AB or one of my enhancement sparklers that I've used in every section. So there's always something to kind of jazz up each piece, which I really like. So that one's actually moving faster than the summer right now. Since the last time we spoke, I don't know how much farther I've gotten, but a decent amount farther. So I'm really enjoying working on that one. And then, but once again, high confetti, a little bit more time consuming for sure. So I was working on those and I'm like, I finished Borealis before I moved. That one was high confetti too, but that was my quick workup kit because there were some sections of color blocking. It was round, it went relatively fast. So I need something that'll go fast in my life right now. Something with just a lot of color blocking that I can just crank through sections, because I feel like I'm just crawling through my current whips because they're just both intense projects. So I was like, what do I want to kit up? And this was like 2 days before I was gonna move, before I was moving. It's like, what can I kit up that I can work on in the next couple days? Isn't gonna be too taxing. And then when I move, I can, keep working on it. And I was just in this mood of like, I think with all the change that's happening right now with like moving and all of that stuff, I wanted a kit that would just kind of brighten my spirits a little bit, be something that I've been looking forward to working on. I all wanted to already be kitted up. So I looked at what I had kitted up, and I had my mystery kit from Ivy Dollamore and Diamond Art Club. So I pulled that canvas out and took a good look at it. It was like, whoa, there is a ton of color blocking in this one. So I was like, done and done. Like, it's probably my favorite DAC kit that they've ever released. So it's been one that I've been holding on to, but now is the time. So I'm already like half a section away from being halfway done on that kit. Like, I've been cranking on that kit, and it's not that I've been spending all my time working on it because I've made progress with my other whips, but it's just going fast because there's a ton of color blocking in that kit, which is really nice, really nice. However, I can't be pleased. I can't be pleased because it's amazing and I'm loving it, watching it come together, but it is dark. And I won't give any spoilers other than to say the color palette is dark. So a lot of 310, a lot of 939, not too much brown. It's more like burnt oranges and kind of like, not tan, like orangey browns, but not too many like true browns like Astronomer. Hey, what are you doing? It's more like, hey, get out of here. Is this what we want to do today? Hey, easy. Let's go. Hey, come on. Sorry, hold on everyone. He's having a flip out. Let's go. Move your butt. Let's go. Go. Hey. Whoa. You're going to hurt your little leg. Come on. You're lucky you're flexible because that could have really hurt. He got the leash stuck under his leg and then took off, and it like whipped his leg up at a weird angle. He seems fine though. Good thing you stretch every day. You're lucky. This way. Come on. Go. So yeah, it's working up great. I love it. It's give me a specific type of genre vibe, but once again, I don't want to talk too much about the mystery kit until I do an official finish and review and do spoiler warnings and stuff. But it is 100% my vibe. I wish Diamond Art Club would do more images like this, and not just because of the subject matter and what they are, but more in that style of like kind of anime-y, cartoony. I don't know. It is the perfect style. I love it. It's cute. And it's kind of funny because like, just like like the actual image and what you're working on, I'm like, I don't think I've ever diamond painted this before. I don't think I've ever diamond painted this before, but it's really cool. And I'm having a lot of fun, but it's a lot of dark colors. So you spend a lot of time with those dark colors and just a ton of color blocking with the dark colors. And I found that the dark colors are usually the ones that have a little bit more trash in them. So it's a little trashy, not terrible. But now I think my perfect kit right now would be a lot of color blocking in a round, because that one's square, obviously, it's a mystery kit. In round with some really bright, like I'd love to see just some 5200 in my life, just some white drills. And this kit does have some brighter colors, but it's not until, as I'm working on it, it'll be towards the end. So it's dark right now. And yeah, a round drill with just a lot of bright, fun colors. I want some whites, I want some pinks in my life, I want some teals, some minty, like I want some of those Borealis colors back, because they're fun to work on. And I think I was pegged as like liking dark artwork and stuff a little bit last year, especially after Medusa and some of the other projects I worked on. I'm like, yeah, I do, but I also like bright poppy pink, rainbow. I like a pastel. And of course, astronomers, I would consider that a little bit darker in tone. It does have some pops of color and stuff, but nothing like, no pinks, that type of thing. And then same with summer, even though that is a generally bright kit, it's summer in the sense of like wheat fields and flowers. So lots of tans and beiges and kind of like grassy greens, mossy greens. So I have a lot, but I'm just like, every time I start working on something, I'm like, I want this now. So I need to take a look at like Inner Garden, I feel like, but that's a square and that has a ton of, I think it's like a gray background. So that's gonna be a ton of gray color blocking, but that has some brighter colors in it. Harbor Lights has some bright colors, but that thing's huge. It's like 120 by 90, and I have no intention of starting that right now. And then Stella is darker palette. And Sunset Crossing is some brighter colors. Maybe I need to take a look at that. That's a really big kit too. I just wish I had a medium-sized, brightly colored kit ready to go, and I might start on that, but I think I'm just gonna commit to finishing one of my whips, and I kind of have now through the rest of the summer kind of earmarked for stuff, so I kind of can't start anything new right now because I'm gonna have a couple kits at least that I need to kit up between now and okay. Apollo, what do you want? I'm not letting you off leash. That's not allowed here. I have at least 2 kits, if not more, that I'm gonna need to kit up over the next few months. So I'm like, just work on what you have, be happy with what you have going right now, and then once summer's over, you can reassess what you want to work on, which it kind of leads me to realize that I went on this kitting up spree, and now I'm like, oh no, I'm probably not going to touch any of these until the fall. So luckily I have enough empty storage containers right now, I think, to kit up everything that I need to kit up in the coming months, and ideally I'll finish at least the mystery kit. I mean, I should get that done in the next couple of weeks. So that'll free up another 120 piece. And then next month, I don't have anything specific planned. So March should allow me to finish either Astronomer or Summer, and that'll free up another container. So I should be good in that terms, but I can't go nuts and start kitting up more things right now because I've got plans. So anyway, going back to whips. So yeah, that's all my whips right now. But yeah, just living that 310 and 939 multi-placing life right now. And the other thing that's kind of tough with the mystery kit, I want to mention for Summer by Diamond Painting Shop. So that kit's a bit of an anomaly for me because when that kit was initially released, of course you got your drill pack, and then Rosa, the owner over at Diamond Painting Shop, she reached out to all of her customers who had purchased that kit and let them know that she felt that the color charting that she originally had done for that kit wasn't as true to the original image as it could have been. So there was some DMC color changes that she wanted to make. So she worked with her manufacturer, and they ended up resending all the drills for that kit. Even if the DMCs were going to be the same, it was easier for her just to send the entire drill pack than just certain DMCs. So I received that new drill pack, I want to say about a year ago. And so it has been a little bit odd because the color that's printed on the canvas might not necessarily be the drill that you're putting down. Like, it won't be the same color because they've been changed. And they're not drastic different, but they are different enough in certain colors. Like there's this mossy green and like one of the tans that on the canvas it's a different color. So it keeps tripping me up where I think I've looked at the right symbol and grabbed the right container and poured the right drills. I start to go place them. I'm like, wait, is this right? This looks different. And then I'm like, oh, yep, no, it is right. It's just the color, the drill color has changed. So, and it doesn't really, because it's round, you can see the canvas behind it, but it doesn't change it. It doesn't throw it off by any means. It's just sometimes I get a little tripped up like, okay, there's a brown in my container, but on the canvas it's kind of a green or, the reverse of that. So I have to keep checking, but it's not the end of the world. And it's awesome that she did that to kind of perfect the kit. Is awesome. And sent all that out for free. So that was really cool. So if you do have that kit and you did get that alternate drill pack from Diamond Painting Shop, just keep that in mind, that you just want to make sure that you're putting them on the right symbol because it can throw you off a little bit. But going back to the mystery kit, the other thing with that kit is my placement is not perfect. Like I would say I'm moderately sloppy with how I place drills. Like I do my best to straighten them out. They all look good in general at the end. There's always little areas that I could perfect, but it really shows on this kit because it's the white background and I'm just not the best at placing squares, especially multi-placing. So I'm noticing a lot of little gaps and spaces pretty much everywhere. But and also it's a lot of 310, a lot of 939, so it's extra noticeable when you're putting black drills down on a white canvas. So I did talk to a crafty pal, and they said that Diamond Art Club has tightened up their mystery kits since that one released. So I'm assuming it's better now, but yeah, that kit, it's just, I have to be very conscious of where I'm placing drills, and I'm trying to clean them up as I go, but I've also kind of just resigned myself to the fact that I'm going to have to put some mica powder down after I'm done to fill in those gaps. I've just kind of accepted that fact, so it's kind of freed me just to be like, you know what, Dan, it'll be fine. And from a distance, it's fine, but up close, I'm like, yeesh, there's a lot of gapping here. We're probably going to get to the top of this hill. It starts going down into the bigger loop, down the decline, and I don't necessarily feel like churning around and climbing out of that, and we're not doing the full loop, so we'll get to the top up here and we'll flip around. We're looking somewhat decent on battery. I'll have to change it at some point, but we're okay for right now. Right, buddy? Cutie boy. Look at that cute little butt. Apollo, come here, sweetheart. Hi. Hi, you're a good boy, huh? You're a wild one, but you're good. Okay. Oh, hey! What? Wants to play so bad. Come on. Apollo. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's it. Good over. Okay. Go. But yeah, so mica powder on that kit, it'll be fine. And the other thing that I'm learning that I love is the brand new squares from Diamond Art Club. I was on the fence about how I felt about them because they give a little bit of a different look than the old squares, which I think were, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they were 13 facets, or God, who knows. But the new ones are like even more, and they're like a little bit more of like a kind of a pyramid shape as opposed to having like really cleanly cut facets. And at first I didn't know how I felt about them because they give a different look. It's more of like a glisten shimmer than it is to like that specific reflective look of their old squares. And so Astronomer, at least my restock of it, has a mix of the old and the new. So I didn't know how I felt about it at first, but now I'm realizing that I love working with those new drills. They pick up in my 4-placer from Diamond Art Club. I can pick up exactly 5 of them every time, because that placer is really like more like 4.5 placer. So I can get 5 drills in there every single time, and they just snap in beautifully. They're really, really evenly sized. I rarely run into trash with those colors that I have of the new drills, and they're just smooth as butter to work with, and I love them. And then I get to one of the colors that's the older style of drills, and I feel like I'm a little bit more clunky then. And I think because they don't fit in the Diamond Art Club multi-placer as well as the new drills. Sometimes I pick up 4, sometimes I pick up 5, sometimes that 5th one will pop off, or I feel like I'm kind of crunching them together, or they get a little wonky. So the new drills work really well with the Diamond Art Club multi-placer, but the old ones they don't work as well. So the new squares and the new Diamond Art Club multi-placers are really a match made in heaven. But you start mixing different kinds of older drills or drills from other shops, and it's just not perfect. Once again, very, very picky, but yeah. So I can't wait for the day that I start working through all my kits that have the older squares, and then it's all the new ones and all color new drills, because that's gonna be a good day. But it's fine, but I feel like my gapping would be less if I was working with those new drills. So yeah, that's kind of that. And then as far as what I have incoming, I have been purchasing some Diamond Art Club kits over the past couple weeks. Not crazy, but I've gotten four kits over the past few weeks. I got Inspiration Peak from All Claire Studios. That's a big old round drill panel, and that one's beautiful. I can't wait to get started on that one. It is totally my style. It's like someone at the end of like a hike or on their hike, and they're looking out over the mountain vista, and it's totally my vibe. One that I will hang in the house when it's done, because the house kind of has a, at least in the living room, in the common spaces, it's kind of a woodsy, kind of mountainy aesthetic with the artwork that's already been hung. And it's all the owner of the house, it's all his stuff that he left when he rented it out. But it's kind of cabiny, mountainy. So that kit will fit in there. And then I needed something to round out for free shipping. I always get at least 2 kits if I'm gonna order. And there wasn't anything else that was on my list, but there's been a kit that's been on and off my wish list for a little while, and it's Red Rocks No. 5 by Andy Russell. And that kit, like I said, it's not been like top of my list, like I must get this, but it's kind of it's Red Rocks, you know, in Nevada outside Eggs is what I'm assuming. And so I've been there a few times to hike and rock climb, so it kind of reminds me of that, but it's also got this slight psychedelic kind of color tone to it. It's not like your normal browns and greens for the cactus and stuff. Like some of the cactus are purple. It has this slightly different hue to it. Where are we going? Where are you taking me? So I just found that to be really interesting. Once again, not at the top of my list because it's a big old square, but it was like the one other kit that I was like, okay, I'm gonna just get this. I was trying to decide between that and Pride by JoJo's Art, but I ended up going with Red Rocks No. 5. So I got those 2 whenever Inspiration Peak released, which I think was like 3 releases ago at the time of filming this. So got those, and they came in the day I moved. So those went to the old place, but I was there moving. So I snagged those, and then the week after that, Diamond Art Club had, oh geez, what was it called? Mountain Landscape by All Claire Studio. Another gorgeous, gorgeous landscape, beautiful kit. And so I had to get that one. That one's also going in the living room whenever it's done. Who knows, I might have moved to a different place by the time I ever get to that. But that one I had to get. I almost didn't get it, and I was like, Anthony, this is like exactly what what your style should be when it comes to landscapes. And it was kind of nice because it was like general mountain landscapes. So there was no like deer or a bunny or like a bear or a canoe. I don't mind any of that stuff, but I liked this specific landscape. So Apollo, come on. He wants to sniff everything. They let horses over here, and I think he's smelling that. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. So yeah, that was an amazing kit. And then they have released an Ivy Dollamore kit alongside that one. And you know me and Ivy Dollamore. Plus it was a round. Plus it had bright colors. If I had the wherewithal to kit something up, that would probably be it. And that one's called Let me go to the Diamond Art Club site. I don't remember. I keep forgetting that one. I want to call it Moon Girlfriend, but that's a different Ivy Dollamore. This one is called... Oh, it's called Rainbow Head. That's cute. So there's Rainbow Head, if you've seen it. And then here's Mountain Landscape, if you haven't seen that. Look at how beautiful that is. That was awesome. And then this is Inspiration Peak, if you haven't seen that. Look at how cool. If I could figure out a way to hand chart a little Apollo next to that person, that would be perfect. And then I guess I can show you Red Rocks number 5. That wasn't a new release, so I'll have to search for it. 1.5 points on all purchases today only. No, thank you. You're not getting me today. Red Rocks number 5. Here it is. So there's Red Rocks number 5. So yeah, there's a little bit of like the color, the hues that have been used are a little bit more saturated, and I like that. So I'm looking forward. And that star, the shooting star, is done in like a rainbow of colors in the rendering, which is cool. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to enhance that one. In fact, I was thinking, I'll talk about it when I get to the unboxing, but I'm thinking I might swap out all of the plant life in that for sparklers. We'll see though. But anyway, so yeah, they got me good a number of times. And then they had some releases this past week for Black History Month. And another one from All Claire Studios came up, and it's called Golden. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous kit. Everyone was raving about that image. And I had it in my cart when it launched. And I was like, Anthony, this is another square. And it's a lot of dark colors, especially that black, that background is all black, like 310, I think. And I'm in the midst of being in my multi-single, I can't do it. I can't add another one of these like dark color square kits into my stash. So I had to abstain from buying that one, but I will get it in the future. I just need to finish a couple more square kits and I'll get back in the mood. But I just couldn't justify doing that to myself right now. So I'm sure it'll be restocked. It's like one of the few kits that's sold out recently. So I'm sure they're gonna re-release it. But I'm just gonna be patient. I don't need it sitting in the garage for 3 years until I decide to get to it. And I just don't need another square with a ton of 310. But it is gorgeous. It's probably one of the more beautiful renderings I've seen from Diamond Art Club from a portrait standpoint. So we'll see. Okay, we're starting to go on the downhill. Let's go ahead and let's flip it and reverse it. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on as far as purchasing. But what I find really interesting is, you know, I've been discussing this topic of AI artists with everyone for a little while now, and All Claire Studios, even though according to their bio it's a collection of artists, and this is how I've been sold on it, so this is how I've been selling it or repeating it, but I think it's the case, but hear me out. Here's my conspiracy theory. I think that sometimes AI artists, because for whatever reason, maybe there is multiple people working on these kits, but I could also see it just being one person working under this name, Claire Studios. Who knows? I could be right or wrong on that, and let me know if you know, if you're familiar with this artist or group of artists and can confirm. But they kind of sell it as like a bunch of artists work under this name, and I'm like, it could also just be one person creating AI artwork and just calling themselves All Claire Studios, which does happen from time to time. And there's plenty of regular, more traditional digital artists that don't use their real name and stuff. I mean, and there's plenty of artists, authors, anybody will use like is it pseudonym or something like that? I forget the word, but they have a pen name, or It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. But I have a feeling it might be one person. I'm not sure. But it's just interesting to see the different variety of artwork that one studio or that one person can create. You know, landscapes and beautiful portraits and this and that. Like, it's really cool to see the breadth of their artwork. But I, you know, did something that I don't know how I feel about it, but the social space on Facebook, especially the Diamond Art Club VIP Facebook group, we've talked about a number of times. That place is a little wild, and I shouldn't let what happens and what's said on that group get to me. But when it comes to AI, it's hard for it not to impact me. And so I think it was last week or the week before, I think it was last week, someone, you know, posted, hey, do you know if Diamond Art Club carries any AI artwork, or are they strictly non-AI? And it's like, okay, fine, that might be a valid question, but I also feel like if you know what's going on out here, then that's a touchy topic. And I was like, no, don't set that, you know, don't put that bait out like that. Because, of course, you know, a couple people gave some, you know, honest answers. They carry a mix, and here's what Diamond Art Club has said specifically about this subject. But, of course, you know, someone jumps in and they're like, you know, they do carry AI artwork, and they have regular artists that are leaving Diamond Art Club because of this, because they're carrying artwork that people are, you know, these thieves are getting picked up by Diamond Art Club, and it's just, you know, terrible to see, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. Maybe not terrible to see, but just like, oh, disappointing or whatever. And a lot of people, you know, a couple people did I think, artwork, quote unquote, by artists, quote unquote, that use AI, you know, just very dismissive, you know, just going into being unkind and treating artists that utilize AI as a tool as, you know, subpar, you know, all the things that I talk about that I think are just inherently wrong, you know, regardless of how you feel about AI artwork and artists, doesn't mean that you can go on to a Facebook group where, you know, these artists are, you know, a lot of artists that are carried on DAC are in that Facebook group because they like to see people's feedback and how their artwork is received, or talk about their products. You see it all the time, you know, artists come on there and like, thank you so much, blah, 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 I can't believe, you know, my artwork, you know, whatever. So I'm like, in those spaces where you know those people are, it's really rude to go in knowing that and being like, thieves and, you know, fake and blah, blah, blah. Like, you might have all those opinions, but save them for your I Hate AI Artwork Facebook group that you're going to create. But don't come into a Facebook group that's run by a company that carries and pays and supports AI artists for all intents and purposes, and talk down about it. Like, why are you here then? You know? So it just gets under my skin. You know, I don't feel however you want to feel. I use my channel occasionally to try to educate and provide some perspective, but I'm not necessarily trying to change anyone's mind, you know? But seeing that always gets under my skin, because I'm like, these artists or artist from All Claire Studios probably sitting there like, oh, okay, you know, this person really hates me and what I do, you know? That's discouraging. And so, of course, I went on there, and I haven't done this ever before, but I felt a little bit more emboldened, or I'm feeling more emboldened now to be like, you know what? Before you go off spouting the same talking points without backing any of it up or explaining how you know that or why you believe that All Claire Studios artist is a thief and fake and destroying the artistic community, like, you know, let's add a little bit of perspective. So I posted something along the lines of like, I really, you know, I think it's unkind, especially since these artists exist in this specific Facebook group, to be putting their title in quotations or making them feel like, you know, not validated by what they're doing. And of course, like I think it was like one person in particular was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll make sure to, you know, use my kid gloves when talking to these artists. I'll just start calling them lesser than artists, or, not as valuable artists rather than putting it in quotation marks. And I was just like, why why are certain people so, and then I just remembered, oh, this is Facebook. Don't forget you're on Facebook. Like, of course there's a miserable people out there. And out of curiosity, I clicked on that person's post or on their profile, and they had written something on their own like individual profile about AI artwork, and they said that AI artists are like crippled people who steal a wheelchair from another crippled person. It's the same thing. And that those people should just mind their own business and die, referring to crippled people that would steal a wheelchair. And I was like, these are these are the same type of folks that exist in this Diamond Art Club Facebook group, talking about how AI artwork is bad. Like, it's not just a passive, like, I think it's unfair, I don't think it's ethical, like, they think that they should die, And so it's like, all right, there's like extremists, for lack of a better term, even within this. So I think that's just a lesson to everyone that is kind of on the fence, or like, I don't know, I'm everyone out. Like, remember that there's also people that have that mindset that are trying to like influence your opinion too. So just be very careful. Like, if you go on Diamond Art Club Facebook group, someone asks about, or any Facebook group about diamond painting, someone asks about AI art, and there's a bunch of people in there that are like, oh, I think it's terrible. Like, it could be for a number of reasons, but there's some folks out there that are like really intense about it, and they might come off as like not as intense in their comment, but if you dig a little bit deeper, it's like, oh no, this person is like has a death list out for any AI artist. So it's like, just be careful. Like, don't let your opinion get pulled too much by what you see on these Facebook groups, because there's some crazies out there. If I could remember that person's name specifically, I wouldn't mind calling them out and being like, hey, you suck, like, I don't mind saying that. Because it's just spouting off that hatred without providing any sort of context or anything. It's just so misguided. And yeah, it drives me insane. Like, I just feel so bad for artists that are just like trying to going about this in a legal way up until the time of filming this, in what I believe to be an ethical way, and really trying to explore, work on their talents and provide a really great quality product or great quality artwork to people that has meaning and has value and has emotion. But these folks that are just like, I will die on this hill, I do not care, doesn't matter in what context, I will always hate AI and AI artists with a passion. I just feel bad, that those types of folks get to pop into the Diamond Art Club group and spout off a bunch of nonsense. Once again, mainly because, not only because there's artists there, but this is a Diamond Art Club Facebook group, and Diamond Art Club licenses from AI artists. So if you feel so vehemently against this, then why are you even here in this group? And like, you shouldn't be buying Diamond Art Club. You should be, rather than like trying to attack me for adding some perspective or attack these artists, if you really have that much of a problem, then maybe you should reach out to Diamond Art Club and question them about their processes and try to get them to see your point of view or whatever. But I think that comes down to like biting the hand that feeds you, like, you love diamond painting, and Diamond Art Club is consistently one of the best companies to shop from. And so, and you probably don't want to get booted from that VIP group and miss out on your discount codes. So it's like, you'll attack everybody except for the company that is releasing these kits, because like, you're a little scared, So it's like, don't come after I'm trying to get on here, and like, I think I even said in the post, like, I applaud Diamond Art Club for continuing to release artwork from artists that utilize AI as a tool, because it's just going to normalize this whole thing, and hopefully that keeps this conversation from continuing to bubble up. Like, once people kind of just let it be and just get into a mode of acceptance, then we can stop with this. So I want them to keep pushing forward. But yeah, I thought that was really funny, and there was a lot of people in the Diamond Art Club eventually turned the comments off for that because people were just piling on. So they eventually turned the comments off and put out a statement that they vet their, artists, have such. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about that or how much I believe everything they said about how they vet artists that utilize AI as a tool, because it's so hard to really vet that, like making artists prove that they've done editing and stuff. Like, it really just comes down to the fit and the finish of the final product, And case in point, there was another release a couple weeks ago from All Claire Studios. Just like any other artist, there's some stuff you're gonna love and some stuff you're not gonna love. But they released this image from DAC called Pink Treehouse, and I really struggled with that one. I know a lot of people love it, and which is good. That's a good thing. Like, it just proves that some artwork works for some people and some it doesn't work for others. And even though I'm a big proponent of lifting up all artists, that utilize AI as a tool, I didn't care for that image. I thought it wasn't quite polished enough for me. I loved the colors. I wanted that kit so bad because it's got so many pinks. And I was like, I've never worked on a kit with so much pink. That would be awesome. But that alone wasn't enough for me to buy it. And even though I do want to support AI artists, I couldn't get behind that image. It looked unfinished to me. I get that it's pink. That's true. There is a tree. True. There is a house. True. But is that a tree house? When I think of tree house, imagine you're ahead. Close your eyes. Envision a pink tree house. Don't think about that kit. Just think of what comes to your mind's eye when you think of a tree house that's pink. Most people are going to think that house is off around a tree, right? They're not going to think it's a house with a attached garage with a tree growing out of it, right? I don't know. I just couldn't get behind that. And to me, that was an example of artwork that could have used some more work. And I think that kind of doesn't work with Diamond Art Club's statement of like, they have to prove that they've gone in and made it make sense and do some editing and it's thoroughly vetted. That one to me just seemed like, I don't know. There's branches growing out of the top of the 2-car attached garage. I don't know. It just, once again, I'm not trying to critique or pick apart or, Okay, sorry everyone. We had to do a little course correction there. I think because he's playing so hard with Doug, and Doug lets him like grab at his arms, and Doug will like grab it. Like, they play hard, but Apollo never bites like out of like aggressiveness. He's trying to play, but he doesn't understand like, I've got soft human skin and you can't just, I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, 2 sweaters, gloves, so it doesn't hurt, but I'm like, if I let somebody else, dog sit him that doesn't know that that's how he likes to, he'll like just get into his zoomies mode and want to play like that. He can't be running up behind them and trying to latch onto their forearm and stuff. And it's not hard. He doesn't bite down. He's just got sharp teeth, and it doesn't feel good. So I had to give him a little scolding, like, you gotta I get that you have energy, but you have to calm down. So he's fine now. We're fine. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not trying to like pick apart that artwork or anything like that. I'm just trying to say that it's not, I'm not like, doesn't matter, any AI artwork, I'm hard and fast supporter of it, I'll take it all. Like, I treat it just like any other artwork, and some of it I love and some of it I don't love. And that was a don't love. I know a lot of people really did like it, and I wanted to really bad. But anyway, but yeah, and then the other thing that I thought was funny is shortly thereafter, that whole discussion on the Diamond Art Club Facebook group of like, AI art, and a ton of people getting on there and being like, AI artists are terrible, blah, 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 you know. And it almost seems like, you know, it almost seems like the consensus, if you were just to look at that, the consensus is most people dislike it, aren't interested, avoid it, you know, won't purchase it. And so if you were to look at that, you'd be like, okay, well, that's strange that Diamond Art Club is still releasing these images when if I look at this thread, pretty much everyone on here is not into it. And then they put up Golden, which was that Black History Month image from All Claire Studios, collective group of artists that utilize AI as a tool. And that group just exploded with love and affection for that image. Like, it's incredible. It's amazing. Like, this is my favorite Diamond Art Club piece that's ever been released, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Sold out pretty quickly. And I'm like, but it's AI, you know, like I'm sure if I was really to take a closer look, there's probably somebody that commented in that AI thread, I won't ever buy AI artwork, and then they see Golden come out and they're like, love it, it's on my list, you know. So it's like I don't know if the lines are intentionally being blurred by Diamond Art Club, and maybe that once again maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that they aren't saying, oh, funny you love this because it's from one of our artists that utilize AI. So they're not putting a spotlight on it, and I think that's probably the best path forward. But the righteous ego side of me wishes they would just say, we are and will continue to license and support artists that utilize AI as a tool. Like, I just wish they would take that stand, because I think it might push people into acceptance and just reconcile their own, their own internal conflict about the topic. Maybe knowing that their favorite diamond painting company is, leaning into this would help people along this path. But at the same time, I could also see it from a business aspect where they don't necessarily want to draw a line in the sand and lose a customer base that is fine, kind of, fine, knowing that they do, like, kind of turning a blind eye to the situation. Like, they're going to buy it. They publicly won't support it, but they're going to buy it. But if Diamond Art Club just comes out and says it, I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted on that. Like, I wish they would stand up for their artists, all of their artists, regardless of what tools they use. I wish they would just, go to bat for them. But maybe they don't need to. Maybe going to bat for them means continuing to license from these artists, continuing to cut those commission checks. Like, that's how they're going about it, which is smart. It's smart, but I don't know. I'm conflicted. So I'll continue to support All Claire Studio with by purchasing images that I like, just like any other artist I like that doesn't utilize AI tools. So yeah, so that's that. What else? What else is going on? Oh, I have a couple big things. I'm going to save them for the end, so you have to listen to this in the dark. Listen to the announcements in the dark. So a couple of announcements. I will try to edit this. Today's Monday. I'll try to edit this tonight and get it posted today, if not tomorrow. But this coming Thursday, at the time of filming this, you will see an announcement video go up on my channel. I am going to be doing co-hosting a paint-along kind of quasi-event. It's an event. I'm just going to call it an event, even though it doesn't operate. It's not going to operate like a bunch of other events. And I've teased this a little bit. I just had said in previous vlogs that I wasn't sure how it was all going to shake out. Well, it's shaken out. And I'm going to be co-hosting with Gem Shop. We're calling it Jaded Gemboree, Jaded Gemboree 2024. It's an event, paint-along event, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it an event. So Jaded Gemboree 2024. It's going to be going April and May of this year, starting on April 1st. And there'll be a formal announcement video, so it'll be out in a few days after you watch this. Running from April 1st to May 31st, I think. There's 31 days in May? I don't remember. The end of May. And it's all things Jaded Gem Shop. So no new starts are required. No finishes are required. It's just about gathering together, celebrating one of my favorite shops, and my favorite shop of 2023, Jaded Gem Shop, and all that shop offers. So you're more than welcome to grab a current whip from Jaded Gem Shop. If there's a kit that you've been wanting to kit up and get started on from Jaded Gem Shop, maybe this will encourage you to do so. If you've never ordered from Jaded Gem Shop and have been thinking about it, it'll be a great time to do it. And we'll be doing live streams on each other's channels, alternating every week. So 1 week is mine, 1 week is Jade's. So we'll just go live once a week just to talk about favorite kits, artists. It's really more about the community and social aspect than anything else. We're just there. We just want to gab and chit chat and hang out and connect with everyone again and just take a very casual approach to this. So there's no theme, nothing like that. As long as it's a Jaded Gem Shop kit, then you are good to go. And you can, if you want to come into one of those lives, you're more than welcome to. You don't have to be actively working on a Jaded Gem Shop kit to watch a live. You come one, come all. But no sponsors or anything like that other than Jade and myself will disclose more information as we go. But there's no sign up. There won't be any sign up sheets, nothing like that. You can post progress photos on the Jaded Gem Shop Facebook group. And if we do end up incorporating prizes, I'll have to double check with Jade, but my thought process is, once again, don't quote me on this, I'll text Jade right after this walk to make sure I'm speaking correctly. But if there is going to be some kind of prize, it'll probably be incorporated into the live somehow, so whoever's part of the live will get to participate regardless of what you're working on. But if there is some sort of grand prize or something special, I'll talk to Jade, but my thought would be, as it would just be based on you posting something on her Facebook group with a photo of your Jaded Gem Shop kit at whatever stage it's in, and that, in my opinion, would qualify you. Now, of course, people could come in that haven't worked on their Jaded Gem Shop kit during the end or something like that and just post a photo from a year ago or something like that, but I mean, I guess we'll just play it by the honor system. But once again, no sponsors or anything. This is all just between me and Jade. So we'll come up with whatever that looks like at some point during the event, if we do decide to do some kind of prizes. But yeah, so it's kind of a come one, come all. And not only have I been wanting to do this shop-specific event with Jade, but another big impetus for this, and it's another thing that I've been talking about, is I have been working with Jade on a collaboration. And so I love Old Masters. She loves Old Masters. So I was talking to her. I was like, would it be possible for us to do a special edition collaboration release on your site? So have a specific section that says like, single and placings, Old Masters collection or Old Masters curation, something like that. And it's images that I've handpicked that I love, as I love these Old Masters, or they really caught my eye and I think they'd be great as diamond paintings. So we've been talking about this since probably over the summer, probably during summer with the Masters or of last year, maybe even before that, of like, would it be possible for me to do a collaboration release with you? And if so, would it also be possible if the actual kits said Jaded Gem Shop X single and placing, like at the top of the actual kit, like have my little logo with yours on there? She was like, let me talk to my manufacturer, see if we can make some adjustments for specific images. And she was able to make it happen. So I spent a long time selecting my images. We got them selected. The renderings are all done. So those will be posted and released on Jaded Gem Shop's site the same day that we announce the event in April. So not only will you have the event, but you're gonna have 10 brand new Old Masters images I selected a bunch, and Jade selected a few of her favorites that she's always wanted to turn into diamond paintings and post them. So she's selected some as well. So it's a collaborative effort. It'll be a specific release on her site of 10 Old Masters images. And when you order one of those and it comes in, it will have Single and Placing and Jaded Gem Shop at the top of it. So it's like, putting my own little, stamp on it. Of course, Jaded Gem Shop is the shop. She does all the work and the renderings and everything. I just help pick the images and come up with the idea. But I thought it would be really cool to have our names on a physical kit. Like, how awesome is that? I've been wanting to do collaborations like this for a while, so it's cool to see one come to fruition. So those will be launched alongside the announcement videos for Jaded Gemboree. So be on the lookout for those. The other cool thing about that is they are Old Masters. So if you've been thinking about what you're gonna get for Summer with the Masters this year, and you were thinking about a Jaded Gem Shop kit, you'll have 10 all new images coming up that you can select from. And remember that Summer with the Masters doesn't require a new start. So you can, if you get a big Old Masters kit from now, you can work on it for Jaded Gemboree and let that roll right into Summer with the Masters and just have one continuous project if you so choose, if that's your prerogative. So that's coming. And then speaking of Old Masters, I had a chat with Katie over at Diamonds and Washi, who is the founder and one of the original hosts of Summer with the Masters, along with Jessica over at Tiny Worlds of Wonder. I was lucky enough to co-host with Katie last year for Summer with the Masters, and I had a chit chat with Katie yesterday, and I will be co-hosting Summer with the Masters again this year in 2024. So, yeah, I don't even know what to say. I'm super excited. Oh, yay! I kind of had a feeling, I've been mentioning it, put some good juju out there, and I kind of had a feeling that I might get a chance to do it again. I wasn't 100% sure. I wasn't sure what Jessica's plans were, or if Katie wanted to change up how things went, but yeah, I'll be co-hosting again this year, and there'll be an announcement video for that event coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Still nailing down details. That's a much more, that's a bigger event, more involved. We still have a lot of work to do as far as the, back of house stuff and lining up sponsors and stuff, but I can at least say at this stage that we will be, we'll be hosting it together again this year. So I will be doing Jaded Gemboree, April and May, Summer with the Masters, June, July, most likely taking a month off in August, and then coming back to you with A Question of Reality paint-along in September and October. That last paint-along for A Question of Reality those are soft dates. We'll see what my energy looks like after 4 months of events, if I need 2 months, but I will make sure to get that paint-along announced officially when it's time. But that was, I think I had mentioned it in the previous vlog, I don't want to give a hard date on the A Question of Reality paint-along, just in case this other thing ends up happening, and that other thing was Jaded Gemboree, and it is happening. So Question of Reality is getting put on a little bit of a back burner because I don't want to try to do both events at once. It's a lot of content to put up all in 2 months. And I'm certainly not going to try to do that with Summer with the Masters. So it'll happen. I already started doing some research. I've got a bunch of notes for stuff. So that'll be happening eventually. But plan on Gemboree if you want to jump in and participate for that. And if nothing else, it might be a good push to go ahead, if you were planning on ordering an Old Masters from Jaded Gem Shop, to go ahead and order that here in the next few weeks if you're so inclined. That way, not only do you get it in time to participate in Jaded Gemboree if you want, But it gives you plenty of time to get that in for Summer with the Masters, because Jade does place her orders when she gets the orders in, so it can take a number of weeks for her kits to actually get to you. So it's a nice lead up, I think, and it'll be a fun way to interact and connect with everyone. I'm super excited. So yeah, both of those are coming soon. As far as come here, hi baby, my other content ideas, still have not made any more progress on my comparing tips video. I've only done one of the 4 tests so far, so I need to keep going on that. I'm pretty much ready to do that. I'll probably start working on that in March. And then my other little comedy video idea is still well underway. I've been ordering piecemeal some of my costuming from Amazon and my wigs. And so now I just need, I need to write up a little script. I need to film a different part of that video. It'll all come together when you see it. I need to order some acrylic nails to wear for part of it. I need a lot of eyeliner and just some other bits and bobs, but that will be coming in the next couple of months. I'll just say that. So be on the lookout for that too. Not anytime soon, but you'll know it when you see it. And yeah, I think that's it. We're just walking next to the car right now, but yeah, Jaded Jamboree 2024 coming to you soon with some new releases, and Summer with the Masters 2024 coming to you in June. So yeah, I guess that's that. Thanks so much for coming along. I'm hoping all the audio works out for this, but yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Otherwise, happy placing. We'll see you next time. Whoa. We'll see you next time. Let's look at the moon. Oh, that's pretty. It's like super far away. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye. 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 Come say bye. Okay. Oh, are you tired now after all that jumping and biting? Okay, that's fine. All right. Bye. Up you go, big boy. Cutie. Cutie butt. You're my little butt. Fluffy butt. He's got that big old butt. He's the butt that is so fluffy butt. Bum 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 bum. Fluffy butt. You're my little butt. Give me a kiss. Thank you. Good job today.